is the last chapter of us. Last chapter.
เขาจะเกิน
We nearly finished, right? So this chapter will teach you about the influence of, we teach you two things, of monetary policies and fiscal policy on AD. In fact, we should learn about effect on AS as well, but I teach you the effects on AD, which is the material that everyone who are lecturer agree that we agree that you learn just only that. Even in Thai program, we just learn like that. So this chapter will be divided into two sections. Where I teach you the effects of monetary policies on AD and effects of fiscal policy on AD, and that is. Inside there are some of the material that the same as the previous chapter. So I think I just introduced you to tell you that what page you will not have to read. So what page that you can skip it. So first, how the monetary policy influence AD. Okay, the first sections will be the effects of monetary policy on AD. The effects of monetary policy on AD usually explain, so you already know the reasons why AD curve have slowed downward. You already know it. Okay, so it can effects by well effect, interest rate effects, or exchange rate effects. So you know it. So this one you don't need to learn about it again. Okay, so they just introduce it to you. And then what they say that in your U.S. economies, if we compare what effects is the most important, they're thinking that this one is so important. The interest rate effects is important. The interest rate effects, if you go back of what we learned before, so we see that when price increase, what is interest rate effects say about? When price increase, it will affect on people money demand, and then interest rate will change, and AD will change again. So the link of interest rate effects will tell you about when price change, money demand will change. That's right for you. When price change, for example, when price increase, people will tend to hold more money, okay, because they don't want to spend. Money will increase. Money holding will increase, right? And when you not want to spend to each other or lend to each other, interest rate will increase. Okay, so you have more cost of borrowing. And you will so I just tell you the interest rate effects again. Okay, so when you just saying that when price increase, AD will increase, pass through the interest rate, right? So this is interest rate effect. In US, people thinking that this effect is so important compared with other effects. So that's why we learn these effects again, something like that. So we will bring this effect to teach you about the effects on the monetary policy, right? Effects on monetary policies on the AD. Okay. When monetary policy change, it can affect on AD as well. Okay. And we can just explain it using the interest rate effect. So that's why in this chapter, they will just bring the important ideas of interest rate effects and teaching you again a little bit. Okay. So when monetary policy change, MS will change, right? MS or money supply chain, this is replicate the monetary policy change. When monetary policy change, the MD will change and AD will change again. So that's why we need to learn about the interest rate effects that used to explain this link because in this chapter you will learn about the effects of monetary policy on AD and on the concept of the way that you explain these effects. So when monetary policy change, AD will change. The analysis is we have to use interest rate effect to explain. So that's why the idea of interest rate effects will be explained again in this chapter to explain about the effects of money supply on AD or monetary policies on AD. So after that, I will talk about these things. I will talk about this idea, interest rate effects. Okay. Because we will use interest rate effect to explain. And this effect is passed through one variable, which is money demand, right? Money demand. This one MD is money demand. So you need to learn some theory about money demand first, okay? Which is so-called the liquidity preference. I will teach you this first today in this class, very easy. So because we use the concept of money demand to explain the effects of monetary policy on ADs, and the theory or the concept of money demand, we call it liquidity preference theory. When we holding money, we say that we have liquidities because when we hold money, it looks like we hold cash in our hand. So it looks like we have liquidities. Liquidity preference, why we prefer liquidity, so it's meaning that why we want to hold money. So this theory teach you about why you need to hold money, why we hold money. Okay, because liquidity prefer is meaning that why you want liquidity. When you want liquidity, it looks like you hold money in your hand. Why you want liquidity, why you want to hold money. Okay, so I will teaching you this just only let you know what is this theory is, and after we teaching this theory, we can draw some graph. Just only one graph of MDMS. Okay. So I will go back. Liquidity preference theory, you see. This is a theory that telling you about why you want to hold money. Okay. That has been introduced by John Maynard Keynes, which is one of our economists. Okay, now I will just tell you just only easy things. This theory tells you about why you want to hold money or what is the aims of holding money. Okay. When you're thinking about you hold money, it looks like you hold just only cash in your hand. Okay. Why you have to hold money? Because first, you hold money for, we call it transaction purpose. Why you hold money? Because you want to use it to buy good and service. So the first aims of holding money, why you hold money first, is that, oh, I want to hold cash in my pocket because I want to reserve it to buy good and service that I want. So we call it transaction purpose. So hold it to buy good and service. Whether you know, so we can call it MD for transaction purpose, okay? For transaction purpose. This level of MD depends on income. So it's meaning that if you have more income, right? you will have more money to spend to buy goods and service. If you have less income, you have less money to buy goods and service. So this purpose depends on your income. If you have more income, you can have more money to spend, to holding for buy goods and service. So this is the first aim or first purpose of holding money. Why you hold money? Oh, I want to hold it to buy goods and service for your everyday life. Second purpose of holding money is for precautionary purpose. What is mean by precautionary? Precautionary is like you hold money for an unexpected event that happen. For example, you ill, you get accident. So we need to hold some money or save some money or just hold money for this purpose. Like precautionary purposes mean an unexpected event that happen that you not expect but you urgently need money. For example, you have an accident, you accidentally ill and you need to go to hospital, you need to spend for your health care service. Again, this one depends on income as well. If you have more income, you have more money to hold for this purpose. So precautionary. Okay, so this is why you hold money. And the last purpose of holding money is so-called, okay, let me write first. The last purpose of holding money, we call it this one finished? This one? Not yet. Speculative. Speculative meaning that you want to gain profit. You want to get a returns. You want to get a returns of holding money. You want to get a profit. You want to get a returns of holding money. This purpose of holding money is like you want to hold it to expect to gain profit in the futures, or you hold it to speculate or speculative meaning that you do anything to make a profit in the futures. So here you hold money because you want to getting the profit in the futures. So in this case you will hold money compared with you hold another non-monetary asset. For example, you hold bonds. So if you think the returns of holding money is more than the returns on bond, you will hold money. But if you think the returns of holding bond is higher, you will hold bond. So it looks like you compare whether you hold money or bond. If each asset have more return, you will hold that asset. So you try to speculate, you will try to hold because you don't want to spending, you don't want to do as a precautionary, but you hold it because you want to get some profit in the future. It's not like why you buy stock, why you hold mutual fund now, why you hold stock now, or why you holding a Bitcoin now because you want to get profit in the future. The same. This is why you hold money because you want to gain some profit in the future. This purpose of holding money depends on interest rate. So let's see these things. if interest rate higher, so it's meaning that if interest rate higher, the returns of holding stock bonds will be higher, so you will hold less money. Thinking when you hold money, when MD, money demand, meaning that you just hold cash in your pocket. It doesn't mean that you go to save money in the bank, because money holding in this concept or in the theory, MD, meaning that you already withdraw all money and hold it as a cash. So you didn't get any return when you hold cash, right? So holding doesn't mean that you go to deposit in the bank, no. So it's meaning that you already withdraw everything and holding as a cash in your pocket, okay? So if you think interest rate higher, you don't want to hold money, you want to hold other assets. But if interest rate lower, it's meaning that the return of whole other asset is quite low. You just hold money. So you will see that the interest rate and money holding have negative relationship. So that's why we can draw the graph of MD. We can draw the graph of MD, which have a negative relationship with interest rate. Okay, let you write first. Because I'm the one that write quite fast, so I just need to. Okay, so we can draw the graph of MD, right? So we can draw this one. Interest rate. So if interest rate increase, MD reduce, just move along the curve. Okay, if interest rate reduce, MD increase. So we get the graph of MD, right? We get the graph of MD. Money demand. And then, not just only the money demand, right? We have money supply, because we need to draw this one. Where is this? Yeah. Because we use an MD concept to explain, right? So we know MD already. I teach you MD, we got the graph. Okay. But we need to explain the effects of monetary policy, which is the chain of MS. What is MS in this graph? MS will taking the form as this. So the graph of MS will be a vertical line. Money supply graph is a vertical line. So money supply, who control money supply? Central bank, controlled by central bank. So whether interest rate change, it doesn't affect the level of money supply, because money supply level has been controlled by central bank only. It's not depend on interest rate or anything. So when we know what is MD, right? And money holding, and we just combine it with the graph of money supply, which is controlled by central bank, we get the market. This market so-called money market. Okay, and I think this graph is definitely in your slide. Okay, but I just tell you before that how we get the MD graph. And the same in your slide. So if the equilibrium at point I0, for example, if the interest rate higher or interest rate lower, the graph will change. So if interest rate higher, okay, if interest rate higher, no one would like to hold MD because the returns of bonds higher. So that's why we have this one, MD less than MS. We have excess money supply, okay? And then interest rate go down. Excess money supply. If interest rate higher, everyone not want to hold MD will be less. We have excess supplies of money, or excess money supply, excess supplies of money. So in the situation that are a lot of money in the market, so interest rate go down. If I want to lend it to you, I will not charge you high rate because everyone they have a lot of money. But if interest rate go down, okay, no one would like to hold bond, they will hold money. So they will have excess money demand. Okay. So when everyone would like to hold money, they don't want to spend, interest rate go up. That case? Okay. So you see the graph just move along the curve, doesn't shift anything. Okay. I just teaching you this graph. And in the 4 p.m. class, the makeup class today at the evening, I will teaching you this graph when money supply chain, when the central bank use monetary policies and how this graph affects AD, which is not difficult again. So that is for